everyone! In today's video, I'm going to be doing an eye look using an eyeshadow palette dupe. So without any further ado, let's get started. So the palette that we're gonna be using is Huda Beauty's, and this is her Nude Obsession line. And I have the medium shade. She, well, it was last year that she released these palettes, and if you guys remember, she released 3 of them. I think one is light, medium, and deep, I think are the names. And the dupe for this palette is actually the W7 Bare All Uncovered. They have also recently released these 3. This brand is known for duping a lot of palettes. They have almost all the dupes for the Anastasia Beverly Hills, and they recently decided to also dupe Huda's. I know that they have done the Neon Obsession already. I haven't tried them, even the Huda's. I don't have the Huda's either. And they also released the Mercury Retrograde, and now they recently released the Nude Obsession. If you see the palettes, they are almost the same, and I just want to test them and see if the pigmentation and the color and everything is still the same. So this is going to come with a twist because I'm going to be doing one eye with the dupe and the other eye is going to be Huda, but I'm not gonna tell you which is which until the end of the video. So you have to stay tuned and see which eye is Huda's and which eye is going to be the dupe then. I'm going to be using Huda's palette as a reference for the colors because the color doesn't have names in either palette. I'm going to put Huda's beauty palette picture, and I will show you the color that I'm gonna be using for each part of the process. So I'm going to start with the color on the top row, the very first color, and I'm gonna use it as a transition on my crease. Well, as of now, both are showing gray pigmentation, so the colors are not exactly the same. You'll see like they have different, like a different undertone, but the pigment in both palettes is very good. I'm still using the same shade. I'm just trying to blend it nicely. I'm going to move to another shade, and from the second row I'm going to be choosing, oh, you know what, from the first row I'm going to use the other matte shade, the third shade in the palette, and I'm going to place it here in the outer part. I'm trying not to confuse the brushes. It's difficult not to tell you the name of the palette also. Okay, I'm doing the same thing here in the other eye. Yeah, so now I see that they have gray pigmentation, and they are blending beautifully. Perfect. And I think I'm going to do a halo eye. So I'm going to take a small brush. Yeah. And I'm going to take this in the second row, the third shade, which is like a chocolate brown, and I'm going to place it here in the very end of the eye, and then in the inner part, so we can do the halo effect. Okay, let me see if I can find a brush like that one to do the other eye. Works. Let me clean it and do the other eye. The same thing, just very, very concentrated at the end of the outer part, very close to the lash line, and then in the inner part. They both have fallout, also in the palette, but one has more than the other one, that we can say. But if I don't worry about fallout as long as the pigmentation is good, and I can see that both palettes have great pigmentation, so I really don't care about the fallout. In the middle part, I'm going to be using my fingers, and I'm going to take from the second row the second shade, which is a shimmer, and it's like a copper shimmer, and I'm gonna use it in the center of the lid like this. Let me clean my finger and take the other one. Oh my god, they look almost exactly the same. One, I can say, has more pigment, like it's more like saturated than the other one, but the color, like the undertone, is the same. Even when swatch, I'm gonna swatch both, and I'm gonna show you the fingers. They swatch exactly the same. With the little brush, I'm going to take the brown that I applied to mix and also blend the harsh lines here from the middle shade to make sure that the transition between colors is clean. And take the other one, do the same thing. Emphasize a little bit more this one. And it's looking good. Okay, I'm going to do the bottom part, and I'm going to take a flat brush, but a fluffy brush, and I'm going to take the third shade on the second row, which is the same one we used to darken the lid, and I'm going to do almost mimicking the same thing we did in the top part. We're gonna do it in the bottom now. Let me take another brush. And then I'm going to take the shimmer that I use in the middle and apply it on both bottom lids. Let me do the same thing on the other one. And I'm going to take a clean brush and I'm just going to blend more a little bit here so I don't have that harsh lines on the bottom lid. so it looks more smoke out. Let me do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to apply mascara and finish a couple of things that I see here that I have to correct with a little bit of concealer, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the final look. I want you guys to see the difference between both eyes. I really loved working with both. Let's see if you guys got it. I'm going to do the reveal now. And ta-da! This is the Huda side. You can see this is more saturated, and also you can see like the eyes, like the shadows are a little bit more warm and like dark. And you can see on this side, which is the dupe side, it's not that because it's a dupe and it's cheaper, it has less quality, because for being a dupe, for being a cheap eyeshadow palette, cheaper than Huda's, to say it that way. It has great pigmentation and they look almost the same. The only thing that these shadows are a little bit more lighter in pigmentation, and you can see that the colors are not as warm. I would say that this side is a little bit more into the neutral more than Huda's. Huda's is more into the warm side, but they look almost the same. Like the shimmers look almost the same. I'm going to also insert swatches so you can see the difference on both palettes, and you can see the shadows and compare them. I really liked it. I mean, it's up to you guys, of course, to if you like that type of brands that create dupes for more expensive or high-end brands. I understand that everybody wants to have access to the same, you know, almost the same quality of eyeshadows, or even the color stories and all that these high-end brands create, and I understand that. But I also understand the side of the high-end brands coming up with the original ideas and creating original product, and these brands coming and just copying them. So it's up to you guys if you want to obtain it or not. I hope you guys love this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give me thumbs up if you like the look, and also the dupe bottle that I created today. Share with your friends who would love this type of bottles between the original and the dupes. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Yo.